Should the Seattle Seahawks trade for Jamal Adams? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Alright, what's up everyone, I'm Loki, and today I wanted to quickly give a bit of an update on the Jamal Adams situation. Since the last time I talked about this, there's been a couple more things that have come out and it's made it pretty interesting. There's been a bit more action recently of teams actually going after Jamal Adams rather than just rumors of him being available, so some pretty interesting things have happened and I wanted to go over a little bit of that today. Before that though, I've kind of stopped putting things on the wall because I have something big coming in, and whenever that comes in, I'll have to just kind of base things around that. But there was a suggestion in the comments that won't take up too much space, and it's for Marshawn Lynch. We just gotta throw some Skittles up there for Marshawn Lynch, you know, the man himself, beast mode. So that's just something we had to do real quick. Some other things before this video starts. Right up here, something should have popped up. Go subscribe to my second channel. I just posted a video on internet money and why people are looking at it wrong in my eyes, and I think it's pretty interesting because technically I'm a part of the whole internet economy because I do make money off YouTube now, so I think it's pretty interesting. And if you want to go and subscribe to that channel, basically gaming, talking, and really any videos that I'd like to make will be on there. More personality based content, so if you like that, go and subscribe to that. And one last thing before the video starts, go and follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/I'mFloki, or the second link in the description. I'm going to be doing a birthday stream on July 31st, and if you want to stop by, ask questions, or just hang out, you know, go ahead and do that. And shout out to these people over here who have already followed. Big shout out to you, thanks for the support. And now to get into the video, there's been a report from Rob Rang that league sources have confirmed that the Seattle Seahawks have inquired about the availability of Jamal Adams and a potential trade for him. Now, a couple interesting things in this situation. Darrell Taylor and Quandre Diggs have both on social media come out and basically tried to persuade Jamal Adams to come to Seattle. Now, obviously, it's up to the Jets at the end of the day whether they want to trade him or not, and it's also basically up to the Jets where he goes. I think Jamal Adams could have a say in where he goes if he is traded, because, I mean, no team wants to trade for him if they're not going to get a guarantee that he'll sign back. But I think Jamal Adams will have a bit of a say in where he goes, but it's really up to the Jets at the end of the day to trade him or not. But I think Jamal Adams would definitely be a good fit. I think the fans would really like him. He definitely fits that strong safety, like hard-hitting, big play-making player. I mean, I don't think he's going to be Cam Chancellor for us, but I think he could definitely be somewhere close. I mean, he can bring some impact to the pass rush as well. He could be very helpful with that. He had 6.5 sacks in 2019, I believe. And I mean, our pass rush could use any help that it can get. And I mean, Jamal Adams, he would definitely be a big target to pick up, and he would cost a lot. There's been a lot of people thinking that like a first and a second, maybe a first, a third, and Bradley McDougal for a trade to him. But honestly, I have no idea what the trade could be. I just know it would be expensive, and we'd have to sign him to an extension too. That's another thing. But for someone as good and as young as Jamal Adams, I think most Seattle Seahawks fans would be willing to, you know, give up a first and second round pick, because, you know, Seattle really doesn't use those early round picks too great. You know, I'd be willing to give up maybe a first, third, and McDougal, and then you know, maybe get an extension, maybe like 15-16 million a year for however many years he wants. I think that could be good, because I think the highest safety contract is 14.5 million a year right now, and he's obviously said that he wants to be higher than that, so maybe 16 million a year. I think that could be a fair offer to him. And I mean, if Seattle does get Jamal Adams, I think he'll be welcomed by the Seahawks fan base. He'll definitely be a very interesting, strong safety role for the team, and he could help in the pass rush. So I think he'd be a very useful player to come to Seattle. Now, when it comes down to it, I think there's also some other options for Seattle to make some big trades. Chris Jones is definitely an option that Seattle has, but there was a poll that came out from someone on SB Nation, I believe, where he basically said, you know, two scenarios, either the Seahawks trade a first and a second for Chris Jones and sign him to an extension, or the Seahawks trade a first and a second for Jamal Adams and sign him to an extension. And 58.1% of people on that Twitter poll, out of a couple thousand, said that they wanted Jamal Adams out of either of those options. So honestly, me personally, I think Chris Jones, he could be a very interesting option. He'd be more expensive on the extension, but he is a mainly pass rush option. And I mean, Jamal Adams, he's young, he's really good. He can help us a bit in the pass rush. He'd be a great safety option. He can make big plays, he can make big hits, he can get the crowd hyped up. There's not gonna be a crowd next year, but you know, maybe the year after that. Jamal Adams, I think he could definitely be a very interesting option to bring to the Seattle Seahawks. And I mean, there's really not much that's come out on the Jets side. They really haven't said that they're going to trade him or they're not going to trade him, really. But the Seattle Seahawks actually taking action and inquiring about Jamal Adams and his availability and a potential trade that could be made with the New York Jets to actually end up picking him up. I think it's good to see that the Seahawks front office has actually taken some action to, you know, reach that next step of, hey, what can we offer you to actually potentially get him if you do trade him. And I think that's a good thing to see. As a Seahawks fan, I would welcome Jamal Adams. I think a lot of Seahawks fans would. He would make big plays in the coverage aspect of being a safety. He could help in the pass rush a little bit. He's a hard hitter, so that might bring back some flashes of just kind of nostalgia of Cam Chancellor and the back to the Legion of Boom days. I mean, we'd have a great Quandre Diggs, Jamal Adams safety pair up. We'd have Shaquille Griffin. I don't even know about Quentin Dunbar at this point. But I mean, we could definitely have a very good secondary if Jamal Adams does get traded to us. And I mean, I think it's just a great thing to see that the Seahawks are at least inquiring. I don't think the Jets will actually end up trading Jamal Adams. I think that they understand how valuable he is, and they don't want to give him up just because they have a bit of, contract disputes. I think the Jets are going to try to keep him unless they really just can't. And if they do trade him, I think the Seahawks are definitely a potential option that could happen. And I'm glad that the Seahawks front office has taken action to inquire about, getting Jamal Adams. So I think that this is definitely a good thing for Seattle. I don't really think Jamal Adams will be traded in the perfect world for the Jets, but we'll just have to see. I mean, everything we'll just have to wait and see. It's definitely nice to see that there have been players trying to persuade him to come to Seattle. I'm glad to see that the Seahawks front office is doing something, and honestly, we just got to wait for the Jets to make a decision. And with that, I'd like to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, man, like the video, subscribe if you're new. Go subscribe to my second channel. There should be an end card somewhere around here. Not exactly where, sure what it'll be, but yeah, this is getting pretty bad, so I'm gonna thank you for watching. Have a great day.